Every now and then, before we start processing our visas, nobody wants to get denied. But trust me, at the end of the day, people are getting denied visas. It is no longer news when it happens. That is why this video is coming timely, because I realized that during our various visa applications, there are many errors that we make that we don't pay attention to until when you go for your visa interview, you get denied, or after submitting your applications and you are refused and told the reason why you were not granted that visa. You will now realize and be telling yourself, if I had known, I would have done things different. But it has happened. You cannot undo what has been done. At that very particular point in time, the only choice you have is either to stop applying or to continue applying. But I have always told people in my previous videos, never give up, especially if traveling abroad is a dream of yours. There are many errors and mistakes that are being made by clients who are applying for visas on a daily basis. And many of these mistakes and errors are errors and mistakes one could have possibly avoided. So in this very content today, I want to tell you the visa mistakes that many of you are making and try to avoid it. And before I go into this video proper, I also want to remind you, however, it is very, very important for you to know the steps, the documents, and all whatnot to apply for a visa, even though you are using the service or services of travel agents, so that when they are making mistakes, you easily know. You cannot correct what you don't know. That is why there are cases where people have been denied visas. They would have been able to correct the travel agent or stop the travel agent from making a glaring error. But to them as clients, they don't even have an idea. Even though the travel agent is doing the wrong thing, because they don't know, to them, the travel agent is always right. So that is why it is very, very important. Try to know, if not everything, so that when the travel agent is going out of way, you call them to order. If you are just coming across this channel for the first time, my name is Nosa Comedy, the man with the remedy. Many of my fans, they call me Nosa from the source. That is because I bring legit information directly from the source, undiluted, to you. Also, I am the king of informative comedy right here in the United States of America. And it is always a thing of pleasure when people call me Nosa Comedy. I just get visa now. Trust me, I'm always joyous. So continue to get this visa. And before you guys will continue to get these visas, you have to apply right. If not, the loss is on you. Like I said in my last video, whether you get denied a visa or get that visa, the travel agent is on a win-win situation, because he or she must collect processing fee, or you call it processing charges if you will, from you. So now, you are a woman. And also please, give this video a big like and also subscribe if you have not yet done so. You know, right here, a lot of things are happening. Please subscribe to this channel if you have not yet done so. And click the notification channel, click the notification bell on this channel so that you get notified whenever I drop a new content. So now you are a woman. You have a 2-year-old baby or a 3-year-old baby. You want to apply for a tourist visa. And in that visa application, you have stated clearly that you are going to that country for vacation or tourism purpose. And while you are doing this, you are not including this 2-year-old or 3-year-old baby of yours in the visa application. That is a red flag. You are most likely going to be denied that visa, because like I said in my previous videos, if you don't think like a visa officer, it will be very difficult for you to get visas. Now, if you are a visa officer, would you give visa to a woman who is going for sightseeing, for vacation purpose, for tourism purpose, and they are leaving their 2-year-old or 3-year-old baby behind? These are mistakes people make on a daily basis. And when they reach out to me telling me, I'll be like, what were you thinking? You are leaving a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old behind, and you are going for vacation. You are going for sightseeing. To the visa officer, which mother in her right senses would leave a 2-year-old baby and say, I want to go for vacation? So you want to leave the baby for your husband, then you will go and enjoy. So to them, at that very age that baby is, he or she is supposed to be with you. Right here in the US, I see people on a daily basis, tourists. They come from Africa, they come from Europe, they come from Asia, from South America, and from other North American countries. They are with their babies. They come here to the Empire State area to see the Empire State Building, the Statue of Liberty. They are with their babies. You know, but you are applying to come for sightseeing. You are leaving your babies behind. It will be very difficult for that visa to be given to you. Now, a man and wife, you are applying for a tourist visa to go for vacation, to go for tourism purpose, to go for sightseeing. And while you are applying, the money you had at that time in your bank account, that money maybe would have been able or could have been able to take you to your destination without your spouse. When I say without your spouse, I mean here, there are cases where if a husband had applied for that visa alone, they would have been able to get it. There are cases where if a wife without her husband applied for that visa alone, she would have been able to get it. But this name of, I want to travel with my wife, I want to jackpot with my husband, trust me, it has led to a series of denials of visas for husband and their wives, or husbands and their wives. So in this case, what do you really do? See, in many cases, living without applying for visas without your spouse gives the visa officer an idea that you are going to most likely come back. In many cases. Now, let's say you have been able to, let's say you have a job, a very lucrative job, and you don't have too much assets, or maybe you don't even have assets. You don't, like, it's not like you have properties or something. In these cases, it is just that job. Even though that job is lucrative, and we also let the visa officer know that you are going to most likely come back to your country, leaving your wife behind first is another advantage. Because now, as a husband to a wife, you are applying to travel alone. This job you have is one tied to your country. Leaving your wife behind solidifies that ties. So which means if the job cannot bring you back, at least you have a wife. The same thing for a woman. If a lady, let's say a married woman is applying to travel abroad, she has a husband, the kids are there, or kids or no kids. Now, if you are applying to travel alone, maybe you have a good job. In some cases, that job may not be too strong enough. But owing to the fact that you are applying for that visa alone, leaving your husband behind gives you an advantage. Because in the visa officer's mind, if that job is not bringing you back, at least you will most likely come back to your husband. Even though say you dey go there, want go change things. You don't understand so? So that's why they be. But in many cases, you have a job. To you, that job fit dey okay. To the visa agent, that job may not be lucrative enough or high paying enough to bring you back. Then, when you have already sown doubts into the mind of these visa agents, then you are still going with your spouse. So the question will now be, if this guy is refusing to come back to this job that is paying him in this his country, is there any other thing that will most likely bring this guy back? Listen, oh, that is the visa officer is thinking now. If I give this man and his wife this visa, apart from this job, is there any other thing that will bring this guy back? Maybe you don't even have big businesses. Maybe you don't even have gigantic assets to bring you back. It's just that job. Some visa agents may think that you can leave this job because you have a wife. Except if maybe you have grown-up children and maybe they are in school or they can take care of themselves while you and your wife are going for that tourism or vacation or sightseeing, you may want to call it if you will, in that country. So it is very, very important when you are applying for a visa, put yourself in the visa officer's shoes. Ask, if somebody submits this kind of visa application to me now, will I give this person visa? Be honest with yourself. It will help you. It will guide you. Okay, now, there are other cases. You want to apply for a tourist visa. Maybe you have told them, I want to go there for vacation. Then, somebody is sponsoring you. I have said this before. In many cases, you may get denied this visa. Because the question is, how will somebody just be ready to sponsor you to go on vacation for sightseeing? It happens. But there is a bigger mistake here. Whatever travel you are embarking on, whether it's a student visa application, maybe you are applying for a tourist visa, if you are taking somebody's proof of funds, that person must write a letter of sponsorship alongside that proof of fund he is giving you. That is to say, if Mr. Osas, Ejime, Akindele, Sani, Umbok, if these men I have mentioned, Auntie Stella, Auntie Rose, if these people I have mentioned are your sponsor, and they have agreed to say, okay, brother, sister, friend, take this POF as sponsor, as your source of financial sponsorship for this journey. These people that are giving you their POF, they need to give you a letter of sponsorship. That is to say, they have agreed to sponsor you. Giving you POF is not just enough, because anybody can get POF. Anybody can get POF, but it is the letter from that person that will authenticate that proof of funds. So, if you are applying for a Canada visa, for instance, you are submitting POF without letter of sponsorship. In many cases, other documents from that person, his business name, it may indicate it in that letter, his tax documents, and those other papers are not there, just the letter or just the proof of funds. You are going to most likely be denied. Now, if you apply for a US visa, you go for the interview, and on that interview day, you get your what is it called? You got your, they say, okay, how are you going to take care of yourself when you get to the US? Then you will now say, my uncle, my dad, my mom, my friend, my this is sponsoring me. You have the proof of funds. Now, where is that person's letter of sponsorship where he or she has stated that they want to really sponsor you. Because even you yourself that is holding that proof of funds, you can photocopy that proof of funds and give to somebody else. So it is now the letter that authenticates that POF. These are some of the traveling mistakes many of you are making. And this video is going to come in series, trust me. It's going to come in series. I just wanted to quickly drop this one here because many of you are applying for visas and I want you guys to avoid these errors. Don't forget, my name is Nosak Comedy right here. I am dropping it like it's hot. And please, in the comment section of this video, tell me what you want me to make a video on next and I will surely drop it. This one is coming from my heart, not from the comment sections, because when people tell me they get denied visas, I ask them, how did you do this application? And when they start telling me, I'm like, no, this denial or refusal could have been avoided. So guys, till I see you in my next video. Peace.